Why are Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds pretending they're skipping the Met Gala tonight instead of just acknowledging they weren't invited?
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds didn't attend the Met Gala, but were they rejected from it?
Blake and Ryan won't be at tonight's Met Gala. The couple's plans were revealed in March by multiple outlets, including TMZ. On March 21st, a source told Us Weekly that the news is actually not surprising, saying she's not a Kardashian that goes every year. Saying Blake and Ryan haven't gone since 2022 when they were co-chairs, and they will not be in attendance this year. She's obsessed with the Met Gala. She's obsessed with being seen. You know she wants to go. They're just saying that they're not going. Okay? They don't give a reason. It's just random. They're not going. This woman who loves fashion, who, you know, whether you like her fashion or not, I think it's abhorrent. She got this Time Magazine Civil Rights Titan Award and all of that. We know the woman has done blackface. We know the woman got married on plantation. We know she only got the Time Magazine thing because she donated money to the NAACP 6 years ago.
And like, why? Why do you have to make up stories like that? I just don't get it.
Or they just didn't really want to put themselves out there with all of the scandal. But there also could be another side plot, you know, with the speculation and the opinion that maybe they were not welcome.
I am calling out hypocrisy amongst the powerful people in Hollywood. She's not talking about women in power. She is protecting women in power. And instead, she is going after women just like herself who's trying to make a living from being creators here online.
I could see, what's her name that runs the thing? Who's the designer?
Anna Wintour?
I could see Anna Wintour being like, Blake, you are not coming this year. Like, there's no way. Close to the couple says, the choice to pass in this year's gala came before the lawsuit, has nothing to do with it. And for what it's worth, Blake and Ryan aren't shying away from public appearances.
Why are Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds pretending they skipped the Met Gala when everyone knows they weren't invited? Tonight, we're diving deep into one of Hollywood's most shocking falls from grace. From plantation weddings to blackface skits, fabricated birthdays, and charity collapses, Blake's glamorous facade is unraveling before our eyes. But here's the real question. Did Anna Wintour personally slam the door shut on Blake Lively? Let's find out. Blake Lively, once heralded as America's sweetheart and a staple of high fashion, has found herself in an unprecedented position, excluded from the glitzy world she once dominated. Was it her controversial past that sealed her fate? The signs seem to point in that direction. Her infamous plantation wedding, where enslaved people were once tortured and killed, was labeled rustic elegance. There's also the resurfaced SNL sketch where she caricatured a ratchet black woman, which many viewers found deeply offensive. And let's not forget her bizarre claim about her daughter sharing a birthday with Napoleon Bonaparte and Jennifer Lawrence, a fabrication so glaring it left fans questioning everything she says. Each scandal has chipped away at her carefully curated image, but could these missteps have been enough to bar her from fashion's biggest night? As we peel back the layers of this unfolding drama, it becomes clear that this isn't just about missing a party. It's about the collapse of an empire built on half-truths and PR spin. So, did Anna Wintour quietly blacklist Blake? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Stay tuned as we uncover the truth behind Blake's Met Gala exile.
Tailoring Black Style, the celebration of black dandyism and the influence of black style in the fashion industry. History. So, given, her blueberry slave muffins, her wedding at a plantation, I could imagine why they wouldn't go. I think we can prove they weren't invited. I mean, really? I don't think this is the year to bring Blake Lively. I mean,
yeah.
I agree with you. Like, maybe it was her reps.
Definitely their absence was noted.
They just did all, we know. They've been everywhere. She's not a Kardashian that goes every year, is what she previously. This sounds like a lot of defense. Isn't it kind of crazy how this could actually be something she might wear? And of course, she brought a tray of blueberry slavery muffins for everyone to have, because she just wants to romanticize that deep South history of how the blues came from and where it came from, and the blueberries from the blues. She's done it. She's done it. And now she's out there like, oh, I'm learning so much and thank you, time, blah, blah, blah. Oh, cram it.
For 2 years straight, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds haven't set foot inside the Met Gala. At first glance, you might think it's just another scheduling conflict. After all, Blake loves to play coy, saying things like, oh, we're taking a break this year. But let's be real, this isn't about being too busy. It's about being too problematic. When the 2024 theme celebrated Black style and legacy, there was no way Blake could waltz in wearing couture without raising eyebrows. Remember her plantation wedding? Or that infamous SNL sketch where she caricatured a ratchet Black woman? These scandals didn't just fade away, they followed her right to the steps of the Met. And let's not forget how she once called her plantation wedding rustic elegance, as if renaming a crime scene would erase its history. So, did Anna Wintour send a subtle message by locking Blake out? You bet she did. This wasn't just an oversight or a casual decision. It was a calculated move to keep the night's tone authentic and meaningful, something Blake's presence would have undermined entirely. Rewind to 2012, when Blake decided to get married on an actual plantation. Yes, a literal site where enslaved people were tortured and killed. And what did she call it? Rustic elegance. Of course, the internet erupted, calling her out for romanticizing slavery. Instead of owning up to her mistake, Blake did what any fake woke celebrity would do. She donated money to the NAACP. But here's the kicker. It wasn't just a quiet donation. Oh no, this was a calculated move, designed to shift the narrative and polish her tarnished reputation. Fast forward a few years, and suddenly she's holding a Time magazine Civil Rights Titan Award. Was it earned? Or was it purchased to clean up her image? Either way, the damage was done. Romanticizing oppression doesn't look good on anyone, especially someone who calls herself a fashion icon. And let's not forget, this is the same woman who once ran a blog called Preserve, where she posted antebellum-themed muffin recipes, a bizarre nod to the very era she claimed to reject. The contradictions pile up faster than the accolades, leaving us to wonder, is Blake Lively clueless, or is she just that good at playing the system? Either way, the plantation wedding fiasco became a defining moment in her career, one that continues to haunt her, no matter how many awards or designer gowns she stacks on top of it.
They lied and said that their daughter Betty was born on August 15th on Seth Meyers, and then that's what Blake Lively said. And then Ryan Reynolds said that Betty was born also on August 15th in a Variety interview. I just did those videos. It's deranged.
Do your daughters ever criticize your outfits?
Oh, yeah. No, one of my daughters has the same birthday as Napoleon and Jennifer Lawrence. So if you imagine like those two blended.
The past or the present, and sat up there and said that her daughter's birthday was the same as Napoleon and Jennifer Lawrence. Napoleon and Jennifer Lawrence were born on August 15th. All right? This woman is absolutely deranged. She decided to go on Seth Meyers, knowing that all these eyes and ears on her, knowing that everyone is going through everything she's ever said and done with a fine-tooth comb, whether it's in the past or the present, the two narcissists, delusional people.
To do all that, it would have been like Ryan Reynolds promoting Black Panther after getting married in a plantation wedding, which he rightfully got called out for. It just would have looked very tone deaf and stupid. Blake and Ryan were no-shows at the Met Gala. Now, this is an event they've been to a lot. They weren't there last year. She was editing the movie It Ends With Us, stealing it from Justin's grasps. But now they didn't show up, and they have reasons.
A lot of fittings. There would be a lot of things she'd need to do with designers to get ready, both her and Ryan, to be able to be a part of this event. And they have been very busy traveling all over the place for the promo of Another Simple Favor. So I'm guessing that if there is truth to they decided not to go, it may have been because schedules were too busy.
But wait, there's more. Remember that time Blake appeared on Saturday Night Live and performed a skit that mocked Black women? The exaggerated accent, the twerking, the cheap wig. It was performative, cringeworthy, and undeniably insulting. At the time, it seemed like just another forgettable late-night moment, but the internet never truly forgets. Thanks to copyright claims, the clip was scrubbed from mainstream platforms, making it nearly impossible to find on places like YouTube. But screenshots, descriptions, and whispers of the skit still linger across forums and social media. When the 2024 Met Gala announced its theme celebrating Black dandism, legacy, and style, a tribute to the profound influence of Black culture on fashion, Blake must have immediately realized she wouldn't be welcome. For someone with her track record, showing up would have been like serving slavery-themed muffins at a civil rights gala. It would have been tone-deaf, disrespectful, and an outright contradiction to the very essence of what the event stood for. Yikes. The optics alone would have been disastrous. Imagine the headlines. Blake lively attends Black style-themed Met Gala years after mocking Black women on SNL. Not only would it have reignited old controversies, but it also would have overshadowed the actual purpose of the evening, turning the celebration into a referendum on her past behavior. And let's not pretend this is just about one bad sketch. This is part of a larger pattern. From her plantation wedding to her resurfaced blackface moment, Blake has repeatedly shown a lack of understanding or respect for the weight of cultural sensitivities. By staying home, she may have been avoiding what could have been one of the most awkward red carpet moments in recent history. Still, her absence spoke volumes, not just about her own self-awareness or lack thereof, but about how the industry as a whole views her ability to represent such a significant cultural moment without causing further harm. If you thought the controversy stopped there, think again. In 2023, Blake went on Seth Meyers and casually claimed one of her daughters shares a birthday with Napoleon Bonaparte and Jennifer Lawrence. Sounds quirky, right? Too bad it's completely false. None of her children were born on August 15th. What's worse, her husband Ryan doubled down on the lie during a Variety interview, reinforcing the fabricated story as though it were some kind of charming family trivia. Fans quickly caught on, however, and a quick dive into public records revealed the truth. Blake's kids weren't even close to being born on that date. This wasn't just a minor slip-up, it was an intentional fabrication, carefully planted for no apparent reason other than to make her seem more interesting. But why go to such lengths? Is it desperation, delusion, or just plain narcissism? Whatever the reason, it's clear Blake will say anything to stay relevant, even if it means rewriting history. It's almost as if she treats her life like a movie script, where facts are malleable and every detail is an opportunity to craft a more glamorous narrative. And while some celebrities might get away with harmless embellishments, this felt different. It wasn't just a playful exaggeration. It was a calculated move designed to manipulate perception. The internet, of course, had a field day. Memes mocking the Napoleon Lawrence-Betty connection flooded social media, further eroding any remaining credibility Blake might have had. After all, when people catch you in a lie, especially one so unnecessary, it makes them question everything else you've ever said. And for Blake, whose brand has always relied heavily on her perceived authenticity, that's a dangerous place to be. Meanwhile, Blake's legal battles with Justin Baldoni took a devastating turn, one that left fans and observers alike shaking their heads in disbelief. Justin's Wayfarer Foundation, a beacon of hope for countless social causes, was forced to shut down amid mounting legal fees, a tragic consequence of the ongoing disputes. For years, the foundation had been quietly making a difference, funding programs that uplifted marginalized communities and supported mental health initiatives. But now, it was collapsing under the weight of litigation, leaving behind a void that no amount of PR spin could fill. While Justin stayed silent, retreating from the public eye to grieve the loss of his life's work, Blake seemed to be living her best life. She jetted off to Paris, LA, and Milan, gracing red carpets and posing for photo ops as if nothing was amiss. Her Instagram feed became a parade of couture gowns, champagne flutes, and autograph signings, showcasing a woman who wasn't just surviving but thriving. But thriving at what cost? Every headline screamed hypocrisy. On one side, there was Justin, visibly worn and reeling from the destruction of something he poured his heart into. On the other, Blake, smiling through the chaos, seemingly untouched by the consequences of her actions. The optics were so glaringly bad that even her most loyal supporters struggled to defend her. One side was losing everything: his legacy, his mission, his ability to make a tangible impact on the world. The other was collecting accolades, endorsements, and magazine covers, all while pretending she wasn't part of the problem. If this isn't a textbook example of privilege versus pain, I don't know what is. It's the kind of stark contrast that makes you question how far some people will go to protect their image, and how little they seem to care about the collateral damage left in their wake. And then there's the infamous Woody Allen interview, a moment that has since become emblematic of everything wrong with Blake Lively's public persona. Back in 2016, during the press tour for one of Woody Allen's films, a Norwegian journalist bravely posed a question many were too afraid to ask. Why did Blake decide to collaborate with Woody Allen, a filmmaker whose career has long been overshadowed by deeply troubling allegations? Instead of offering a thoughtful or even diplomatic response, Blake clammed up, visibly annoyed, and delivered an icy dismissal that screamed entitlement. She didn't just brush off the question, she treated it as if it were beneath her, rolling her eyes and exuding an air of superiority that left everyone in the room uncomfortable. At the time, Hollywood's well-oiled machine sprang into action, shielding Blake from any real accountability. The clip was quickly buried, and the incident faded into obscurity, for a while, at least. Fast forward nearly a decade, and the internet finally caught up. Thanks to creators like Sashflow, who resurfaced the video, this brief yet damning exchange has taken on new life. What was once swept under the rug is now front and center, dissected frame by frame as a masterclass in celebrity arrogance. That 40-second snippet isn't just cringeworthy, it's become symbolic of how out of touch certain celebrities can be when their carefully curated images start to crack. The fallout didn't stop there. As soon as the clip reemerged, the YouTube community exploded with reactions. Fellow content creators jumped into the fray, turning what could have been a simple critique into full-blown drama. Opie Doi, another prominent creator, tried to mock Sashflow, accusing her of exploiting the moment for clout. But here's the twist. Opie herself later streamed the exact same clip on her channel, proving that hypocrisy knows no bounds in the quest for views. Meanwhile, Sashflow fired back, calling out the blatant hypocrisy and reminding everyone why she brought the clip to light in the first place. "I couldn't post this years ago," she said. "They would have blacklisted me. But now, we're done protecting these elites." What makes this moment so pivotal isn't just Blake's dismissive attitude, it's the larger pattern it reveals. This wasn't an isolated slip-up or a bad day. It was quintessential Blake Lively, entitled, unapologetic, and seemingly untouchable until recently. And let's not forget, this all ties back to her decision to drag Justin Baldoni into legal battles while simultaneously playing the victim in glossy magazine spreads. The irony is almost poetic. While Blake struts around promoting sequined outfits and red carpet glamour, people are dissecting her every move, peeling back the layers of her manufactured charm to reveal something far less appealing underneath. One thing is abundantly clear: Blake's days as America's sweetheart are over. The facade has fallen, and audiences aren't buying it anymore. So, what does all this mean for Blake Lively? Simply put, her brand is imploding. The Met Gala snub wasn't just about missing a party, it was a public rejection of everything she stands for. Between the scandals, the lies, and the lawsuits, Blake's credibility is hanging by a thread. Sure, she may still dazzle on the red carpet, but behind the scenes, the cracks are showing. Her once pristine image has been tarnished by years of questionable decisions, half-hearted apologies, and PR spin that no longer convinces anyone. It's not just one misstep, it's the accumulation of them all coming to light at once. From romanticizing slavery with her plantation wedding to resurfacing controversies like her blackface SNL sketch, Blake's past actions have painted a picture of someone who either doesn't understand the weight of her choices or simply doesn't care enough to reflect on them. And let's not forget the bizarre fabrications, like claiming her daughter shares a birthday with Napoleon Bonaparte and Jennifer Lawrence, a lie so blatant it left people scratching their heads. These moments aren't just cringeworthy, they're emblematic of a deeper disconnect between how she sees herself and how the world perceives her. As viewers, it's up to us to hold celebrities accountable, not just for their actions, but for the narratives they try to sell us. Celebrities like Blake often present themselves as aspirational figures, yet when their carefully curated personas begin to crumble, we see the fragility of those facades. In Blake's case, the fall has been particularly hard because she positioned herself as both glamorous and relatable, a combination that now feels disingenuous. When you build your empire on shaky foundations, even the smallest tremor can bring the whole thing crashing down. The reaction from fans and critics alike has shifted dramatically over the years. What was once admiration for her style and charm has turned into skepticism and outright disdain. Social media has played a huge role in amplifying these critiques, giving everyone a platform to dissect every move she makes. Memes mocking her plantation-themed muffins, viral threads dissecting her legal disputes, and relentless commentary on her PR tactics have become part of the cultural conversation. And while some might argue that cancel culture is too harsh, others would say it's long overdue for someone whose privilege seems to shield her from real accountability. Blake's situation also raises questions about the systems that protect, or fail to protect, celebrities. For years, Hollywood allowed her to sidestep criticism, burying controversies under layers of glossy magazine covers and carefully timed interviews. But now, the internet has stripped away that protection, exposing the truth beneath. Even Anna Wintour, arguably one of the most powerful figures in fashion, allegedly drew a line in the sand by excluding Blake from the Met Gala. That speaks volumes. If the gatekeepers won't open the doors for you anymore, where do you go next? Ultimately, Blake's story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of building a career and a life on superficiality and self-interest. While her gowns may still glitter under the lights, her reputation is dimming faster than ever before. The curtain has dropped, the spotlight has moved on, and for once, Blake lively couldn't control the narrative. Instead of facing her mistakes head-on, she's doubled down on denial, leaving many to wonder if she'll ever truly learn from this experience, or if she's beyond redemption. Like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about Blake's fall from grace? Is it deserved? Or do you believe there's room for forgiveness? Let's keep the conversation going.